everyone, this is Cherry Enchantress with Pixie Dust Tarot, and I'm here with a new series that I'm calling the 50 Shades of Love. So what's black and white and red all over with 50 shades of gray in between? This reading is a series with a perspective on your love life with sort of a kinky twist, diving into the shadow side and using black and white decks. So be sure that you're prepared because it could be triggering. And also be sure that you're 18 and over. So let's dive into the divine dance between you and your counterpart. This first reading is about the shadow side of jealousy. And what is the underlying source? And what are some things to look hopeful to? And where can you work on this aspect of your shadow side? So we have 3 piles here. Here's pile 1. Pile 2 and pile 3. So let's take a deep breath in. Close your eyes, release your breath. Open your eyes and let them drift to the pile that you feel is calling you for a message. Let's begin. Okay, and here we have pile number 1. So let's see what we'll start off with your Erotic Enchantment, which is Dominion. You are mine. And then we're going to go with the Flowers of the Night, and you have Challenge. So part of the situation here has to do with this kind of sense of being territorial. Dominion is a feeling of rulership, and so there is an energy of the Emperor, similar to Mars and Aries energy, of ownership, of land, of property, of what belongs to a person, and what they have conquered and what they claim as their right. This person doesn't like to be challenged. So what is theirs remains theirs. Let's see what your tarot has to say. So at Inversion Tarot we have Death and Justice and the Ace of Swords. Death represents transformation. It could also represent Scorpio and secrets. Justice is fairness, balance, equality. And swords is clarity and sort of a force and a strength and an intelligence. And all of them combined makes me feel like there is possibly a secret desire for equality in this situation, but yet there's a reason for this need to have dominion, for this need to be the one in control. There's also a desire for clear communication, and strength, courage, and strategy will be the keys to overcome this kind of jealousy. So this need to control comes from a fear, and I feel this particular fear is a fear of loss. So you basically, a good thing to keep in mind is what is yours cannot be lost. So whether this is you or somebody else or somebody you're connecting with, or it could be a mutual fear between the two of you, if you're truly meant to be, you will be. And there doesn't need to be a fear of loss. And if there is loss, then there needs to be a way to learn how to accept. And acceptance is very important. Let's see what your Sentimental Silhouettes has to say. You have the Divine Masculine, Bewitched, and a Heavy Weight. Divine Masculine says, I am your counterpart. I am complete when I'm with you. You are the missing piece, and we travel our life path together. Bewitched, you have me under your spell. There is an irresistible mystery to your beauty. And heavy weight, feeling like the weight of the world is on my shoulders. So much of this jealousy and fear of loss comes from a sense of responsibility and feeling like this person only feels as if they're the only ones that can handle important decision making in their lives, and therefore the situation. And so there could be a temptation with, let's say, a feminine aspect in this situation, which could cause the masculine to lose control. That's a place that the masculine doesn't want to go to. He doesn't want to lose the control. And that's part of the reason why this jealousy stems from the woman or the feminine having opportunities and possibilities separate from his desires and his viewpoint and his control and how he wants to create the situation. But I'm going to go back into this challenge card and read from the book, since it's new to me, but also because this will be sort of your guiding force, your guiding light, in case you want to know how to get over this and get into a brighter area and use this challenge and use these qualities as strength and not something that hinders you. So what you need to do is dig a little deeper in a certain situation, but the rewards and the experience gained will be worth it. Things may seem unsolvable or insurmountable, but there is a way forward, and you can do this because even now, your inner strength has not been fully used. Dreams are very important, and you will be well advised to keep a dream journal so you can explore each layer of your dreams later on. Overall, the energy of this flower is that of a difficult or a challenging situation which can actually be solved and resolved, and in the end, there will be much to be gained by your perseverance. Those working with guides or allies may find them a little obscure or hard to understand, and you will need to work a little more to contact with them. Beware of apathy at this time. If you're having apathy, a good way to get over apathy is curiosity. I just did a private reading on that, and so that would be a nice way to shift your energies. Something that you're curious about, dive into it a little bit deeper, or do some shadow work by using these upcoming readings that I'm doing. Your affirmation is, I have the strength and will to do this. And your keywords are challenge, inner strength, guides, dreams, perseverance, and apathy. So definitely start your dream journal if you haven't already. You'll find clues in them, and that's a good way to start connecting with your guides if you haven't been a person that really knows how to or hasn't even tried yet to connect. You'll find insights and signs and symbols through your dreams that can clue you in on what's next to come, and also how to sort of adjust to certain situations that could put you into a position where you feel your jealousy rising. All right, let's see what your charms have to say. Let's take a look. So we have wish, we have the little kitty cat. This could be a familiar or a close pet that's living or passed on. You have Mary Magdalene. Oh, that's perfect. Mary Magdalene is definitely the patron saint of women and temptation and the shadow side of women's natures and needs. Also, she happens to be the patron saint of pharmacists as well. We have Sweet Cupcake. We have Jupiter, planet Jupiter. All my marbles represent different planets. We also have Saint Anthony, who's the patron saint of lovers and lost things. And it is the Italian St. Valentine's Day. We have Passport, which means you could be going on a trip or getting a passport to be ready for an adventure, because adventure may be coming up when you least expect it, and it always is when you least expect it that you need that passport, right? So get your passport. You also have music here, and you have a gift coming in. Also see this sometimes as first aid for some reason. And then the piggy represents optimism, and it could also be your Chinese zodiac sign. Okay, so I hope you like that, you guys, and let me know which one you picked in the comment section. And if you want to pick more than one, continue on to the next one. Right. And here is pile number 2. So our first card is from the Erotic Enchantment, and you have Squeezing. This is mine. I'm like, oh yeah, I wrote that wrong. More kind of caveman. This mine. Yes, and then with your Flowers of the Night, you have Influence, the Spiny Star. So with Squeezing and Influence, squeezing is kind of a pride, ego reason why the jealousy bubbles up. And right before I began the reading, I heard the haves and the have-nots. It's comparison. Who has what? Who? How come I don't have that? Things like that. Influence to me represents your peers and materialism, and comparing yourself with others. And this could be you or your person, but this sense of finding worth with the things that you have and finding yourself superior to others if you have things that they don't, things like that. And when you don't have that, then jealousy comes in. Let's see what your Inversion Tarot says. You have the Lovers and the Hanged Man and the World. So there is this desire to fit in. It can lead to inauthentic choices sometimes. And pride in yourself, or pride in self, whoever this is, can turn into self-indulgence. It could also turn into, immediate gratification. It can lead to comparisons, comparing lifestyles, and this feeling like it's deserved. You deserve it, or the person deserves it. It's not wanting to sacrifice or give in. It's this lack mentality is really what kind of spurs all of this jealousy, these worth issues, and the fitting in, the societal norms, getting a sense of through the way you fit into society. And that is how you're defining your self-worth, or your person's defining their self-worth through this. Or you could be sharing these things. But I feel like with the Hanged Man, you're getting moments of clarity and insight, especially if you're a spiritual person and you take time to meditate or be in presence, be in the now. Observe yourself as you get triggered or get into a moment. There will be clarity, and then being able to see the big picture, the enlightenment, and then all of a sudden the world expands and you see a big picture. So you may have to go with the flow at times, and there be times too you or your person will have to stop a cycle, be brave and stop the cycles, and at other times you will have to go with the flow and go with the energy, but not just because everybody else is, because of timing and knowing instinctively when the right time is, the divine time is. I feel like here is specifically a good aid to your person's or your shared energy would be the serenity prayer, which is, God, grant me the serenity to accept. That's a key word. Be able to accept things that you can't change. Courage to change the things that you can. But how do you know what are the things that you can? Wisdom. God, grant me wisdom to know the difference. So with these tools, that's how you can approach circumstances. You may not always feel like you have that serenity to know the difference. And maybe you have the serenity to know the difference, but you don't always have the courage to put it in practice, And sometimes you don't always have the ego in check to just have acceptance. So it's something that you work on all the time. Sometimes seeing things that sometimes you'll see things and you jump the gun, right? So let's see what your Sentimental Silhouettes have to say. Oh, you have betrayed. Feeling like the floor is about to swallow me whole, hoping I'm wrong. Enraged. I'm so angry I can't even express why or what I want to do. And confident, feeling good in my skin and good about us as a couple. All right, so the betrayal thing it stems back to this pride issue. Like if you perceive yourself being wronged or cheated on or backstabbed, then you will get enraged, you will get angry, you will get jealous of whatever this other person seemingly has taken away from you. But a lot of the times it's not an actual truth, it's a perceived truth that you're jumping the gun on. But even if it is the actual truth, it's important to take a deep breath at that moment and see yourself as worthy with or without the person's approval or attention or anything else that they're giving you or not giving you. To find worth in yourself, feel good about yourself. Approach relationships with this confident attitude instead of an attitude that it may fall apart one day, or no, fear, what's going to happen? Will we last? I don't know. I don't think so. If you approach your relationships this way with a lack mentality or this fear of something bad happening, then you may just be attracting it. You might just as well be attracting it. So approaching your life, by doing things in your life that makes you feel confident, like maybe bodybuilding or, writing a book or something that you're really good at. If you keep doing these things that make you feel confident, then you won't feel quite so much like somebody else has something that you want or need, because you have it all, right? All right, let's get to your charms. All right, so last there is, before I do charms, I just want to say, sometimes this stems from gossip or rumors, or friends who don't always have the best intentions, who like to stir up drama. So be aware of that too. Be aware that you might not be the only one that gets jealous in a certain situation, and other people's jealousies can spur them to create drama where there doesn't need to be any, which happens like on The Bachelorette and stuff like that, on The Bachelor, that kind of thing. So if you hadn't, the confidence in yourself, then none of that stuff would matter. So you have the Wheel of the Year. So I feel like this is going to be a great year for you. And it's beautiful because it kind of matches the world. It's like the world is your oyster. You can go any direction, do anything, take any path. No matter how the stars align, it's yours for the taking. It's just a matter of that serenity prayer, knowing and intuiting the timing, and so get into the Hanged Man state a little more often, so you can let those ideas come to your crown chakra. Ooh, it looks like a date's coming up. So yeah, the sun shines on everything. Happiness, joy, bliss, good fortune. You have Saint Francis of Assisi, the patron saint of animals. So if you have any animals, they are safe and loved and protected. Pets. You also have Mary Magdalene again. She is the patron saint of female issues, of temptation, of sexual things, and also happens to be patron saint of pharmacists. We've got the wings, which represent angels watching over you, and candy cane sweetness coming through. Oh, and the handcuffs, some bondage going on. Yeah, this could be a need to hold on to something for fear of losing it, or not maybe the fear of loss in this case, but just the pride of the ownership in the first place. So yeah, like a false pride. You have someone special. You're someone special. Oh, look, you have the World. Again, with the World. So if you really tapped into your positive energy, you could reach out and do great things. That reminds me, I'm going to give you a positive message from the Influence card. So the Influence card is saying this: forces beyond your control may currently steering your direction. This isn't necessarily a negative thing, but it can be. You may need to go with the flow for a while, see? Sometimes you can't always push against the flow, right? Or swim upstream. So protect yourself in the future from becoming involved in the first place. Things should also be looking up for you when luck slowly turns your way, and that's what I'm feeling. Oh, luck really turning your way. New people and new groups and new situations are on the horizon as well. Travel, experiencing something very different, and general enjoyment are all on the offer, but you need to be ready to step up and jump in. Fate will be playing a very large role in your life at the moment, but you are also reminded that nothing lasts forever and influences come and go. And this applies to positive and negative outcomes. The wheels turn and I work with it is your affirmation. Influence, luck, turning point, control, phases, time, and fate. So it is about a possible fated meeting coming through. Yeah, it looks like a date really could be coming through. We have love as well. We have the painter's palette with artistry. You also have this like gift coming in, which is also kind of to me like a first aid kit, like some kind of bag of healing ointments or it could be like beauty treatments. We also have the airplane, and so there could be travel here, or you could be taking a trip, and travel could be just the thing that you need to get away from maybe certain types of people that are pulling you into a negative situation, so that you can expand and explore and just become more broad-minded and open to other things. You know, when your world gets so small, sometimes you do get possessive and jealous of the things that you have. But if you opened up your world a little bit, maybe you would see you can't own the whole world and the world is meant to explore, to enjoy. And then you realize how possessiveness and jealousy is such a silly thing because we're meant to just be free and experience life and enjoy life. All right, I hope you like that. I'm going to move on to the next. You're free to watch that one too. All right, and here's pile number 3. And your Erotic Enchantment card is Grabbing. This is mine. And your Flowers of the Night Oracle, Power, Queen of the Nights. When I saw that, I was like, oh, you know, there's such power in just in that aria, you know, and it's kind of a don't mess with me and don't mess with what's mine kind of energy. But I think this jealousy, this fear, it is stems from you know, just so the jealousy is like holding on to a fear, which could stem from abandonment, maybe abandonment as a child, or maybe abandonment from past relationships. The power here is like knowing your strength, but sometimes you know how strong and powerful you are, or your person does, and it could be their power that they use to manipulate as well. So that's kind of a shadow side to having power, to being powerful. It's important to know your power and the limits of your power and use your power wisely. All right, let's see what the tarot has to say. So the Inversion Tarot, we have the 8 of Cups, the 5 of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so with the 8 of Cups, this is something I hear some people leave before they can be left. You know, before somebody leaves them, they leave so they can be in power. They can have the control. But it's also a fear of walking away, if you personally walking away, like maybe just walking away scares you half to death. Like you feel too comfortable where you are, but also maybe you feel more power in the position that you're in, and if you walked away from it, you would be vulnerable again. Yeah. But also fear of somebody else walking away from you, possibly. There's that feeling of holding on too tight, which is so funny because the fear of that holding on too tight sometimes gives you the results of the very thing that you fear in the first place. A lot like Anakin with Padme. He felt like he was going to lose her because of a bad dream, a nightmare. And so then he goes overboard in his grabbing, his holding on too tight, which causes him to lose her anyway. And so it's important to know that that very act of your fear can create that which you don't desire, or your person. So what you put out, also with the Wheel of Fortune, what you put out energy-wise is what you will receive in return. The Five of Swords is a little bit about manipulation. It's cheating the system, so to speak. Maybe not cheating on a person, but cheating the system, or jumping ahead, or getting past someone else in order to win, to gain control, to be the winner, to be the one in power. And this, for you or somebody else, is something that plays a part in here. It's sometimes, it's a hollow victory at times, though. It's like, aha, I have the power, I win. But at what cost? You know, at what cost? Did you really? It makes me think of Thanos too, you know? It's like, oh, the power, and then you sit alone with nobody in your world and no love in your life, you know? What is power worth? Is it worth losing that which you want in your life, which is the love and the connectiveness? So power should not definitely overweigh this need to be connected, to have a relationship with other people, to meet them in an equal, balanced manner. I think, though, you'll figure it out. With the Wheel of Fortune here, it also, to me, indicates as above, so below. What you put out, you receive. But you also do dispense a lot of beautiful, good things, and those things will come back as well. Let's see what your Sentimental Silhouettes has to say. You have alienated. I know I'm a little weird, but you don't have to be afraid of me. I'm harmless. Wink. All right. And Divine Feminine. I'm in awe of your strength and aware of our mirroring. You're my counterpart. So this is a good, healthy, balanced feminine. But out of balance, in the power play concept, it's kind of Queen of the Night. Ha 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 ha, you know. Then we have wind, feeling like petals on the wind, time to move on. And when things shift out of balance, there is sort of this desire to move on. Or the petals in the wind sometimes make me feel like importance, like, what does my opinion even matter? Why do I even put up, or why do I even say anything? I feel like I'm not being heard. Sometimes it's kind of that energy. So that could be why it's like this abandonment and abandoning, and leaving before you get abandoned, or leaving because you feel like a lack of power in the situation, or lack of control. So fortune can be yours. What is, if you let go of something, and if it's meant to be, like the butterfly, if it's meant to be, it will come back to you. So in pile 1, what is yours is always going to be yours. Here in pile 3, if you let something go, if you give something or someone the gift of freedom, if it's meant to be, they'll come back. So, and that is your fortune, when you can receive this energy or acknowledge this energy. And also feel like for a lot of you could be like, the fortune card represents karma too. It could also, for some of you might think that this is your karmic debt, that you deserve this bad karma, and you're meant to clean it or clear it. This is what came to you, and that's why these things are happening. And you can believe what you want to believe, but the fact remains that karma is could be something that you're focusing on, and when bad things happen, almost as if you deserve it. And along with abandonment comes fierce independence. You know, when you feel like there's nobody there for you, you jump in and you become your own best friend. And a lot of very famous, maybe not famous, but a lot of very rich, powerful entrepreneurs, you know, build this amazing power and legacy for themselves because of this fear of abandonment. If they have this power, it feels like they have something to hold on to. But in a bigger sense, this can create walls. That self-reliance is great, but too much of it can build up walls and keep others at bay. And it's important as a human society for us to relate to each other and not build a wall against each other and have power plays and see one another as stronger or better than the other, but to see what we have in common so we can connect to each other and feel good, you know, feel like a unit, feel whole, feel like we are all in this together, growing and creating and being and becoming. All right, let's see what your charms have to say. All right, so you have a marble here, which is the world. And so all the marbles represent planets to me. And you have the blue planet of Earth. So, the green planet of Earth. The blue one is Venus, is love. So you have interesting idea coming through for your love life. Ooh, there's Lieutenant Destin Mateus. So a possible military person here coming through for you, or this could be you, or, you know, this kind of person is a kind of person that, you know, was raised or felt a certain kind of power from these positions, like military type positions, or positions of power like police and things like that. So that could be another reason why people choose those types of jobs. And we have a hat. This is the bowler cap, can represent a past life connection. We have the deep and beautiful mermaid, the way you look, the way you speak, the way you move, very elegant, very deep, very intuitive. We have the lighthouse. The lighthouse to me is like a beacon in the dark. So even amongst a shadow reading, you can find the lights and see what you need in order to get to where you want to go. Something could be happening by Christmas time here. Ooh, a Christmas miracle. And you have the Lady of Guadalupe. Also, you have a little bee, so busy bee. And I think the Lady of Guadalupe celebrates around December, so that time of the year. And yeah. And before I go, like, speaking of positivity and a beacon of light, I want to tell you the positive side of power and how you can use your power to do good things and to help people with your power. So, and it's the Queen of the Night. When this flower appears, it indicates that a much anticipated new beginning has arrived, or a huge blockage has been moved from your path. Power is strengthened, and with it, almost endless possibilities are open to you. You should be feeling more self-confident, and if not, know that you are now supported to step out and try something you may have not wanted to do before and been unsure about, but now you're ready. The way ahead is very welcoming at this time. New beginnings, evolution of self, and focus on personal power and how you can regain or maintain it are all here. So closer connections with nature abound, including visiting a natural place or being inspired or assisted by nature in some way in your life. Be careful of self-obsession, though, losing faith in yourself or becoming too power hungry. So your affirmation is this: my power is strong and true. But don't go overboard there. The keywords are power, self-confidence, nature, evolutions, beginnings, and self-obsession. So it's good to, if you lack a sense of confidence, then having this self-confidence and power is a good thing to help balance it. But then if you put it out of balance, then you become a little bit self-obsessed or self-centered. And so one of the things I noticed is that you got the fortune cookie, which is good luck. You have weights, which is lifting weights, feeling strong. These are ways of feeling powerful, like, working out, and also spiritual matters, doing magical things and manifesting and doing your intentions and your meditations. Those are all bring great power to you in a very beautiful, light-filled, healthy way. You have leaves, maybe working outdoors, and we have indicated a little bit about working outdoors, that could be good for your health and it could be good for your outlook. And since we have the fortune cookie, I'm going to give you one special little extra treat. All right, so I'm going to shuffle some fortune cookie oracle deck by V11 and Crystals. Let's see what comes out. I got a fortune cookie the other day, and my fortune was expect a surprise. Ooh, you got laugh out loud. So sometimes laughter is the best medicine in these circumstances. If you can gain a little perspective on yourself, your situation, or even your reactions, the way you see yourself in a moment, and step back, take some time to realize how you are, what you just did. Maybe you can laugh about it, and it helps clear the energy. Okay, well, I hope you guys like that, and there's more of this to come, so stay tuned for the 50 Shades of Love and all the different topics that I'll be diving into. Faith, Trust, and Pixie Dust.